System that I teach is a system based on a figure called 10 men. That's T-E-N-M-E-N, and it's called 10 men because the missionaries in the South Sea Islands, when they found the people making this figure, considered it to be an abstract portrait of 10 men doing side straddle hops. Side straddle hops means that the body forms rather an X, and I will try to show you where the X's are when I have finally formed the figure. But it starts with opening A, and then the thumb is dropped. There are several ways of doing this, but this is the way I teach it. And then the far little finger string, traditionally, is caught in the teeth. And then the hands crisscross so that the index finger picks up and you pull apart. And you have two loops on your index finger with the straight across or the transverse strings being the near index strings. Now let me do that another way. Again, opening A and drop. Now I'm going to turn my hand slightly. My left hand or my right hand can go behind and curl under and lift up the far little finger string until my hands assume their natural position. And then my right index can slip under so that I have the straight across string on the top of my index. And by holding my thumbs here and pulling apart, I can form the loom that way. I call it the loom because from this particular position, there are many things that you can do. But the thing which is done in order to make the figure is to reach under all of the strings until you find the near little finger string that you pull from under with your thumb back under all of the strings until it reaches its original position. And then with the same thumb, you reach up and under the top near index loop until you have two strings on your thumb. And then you have to Navajo those loops, which is to say the bottom loop goes over the top. Quite often it is done with the teeth. Now I have perfected keeping these index loops separate so that I can just drop to finish a weave. If you cannot remember to do that, or you have trouble in the beginning, you can note that there is a string over here with a wrap on it. You can take that string, that index string, off with your hands, and you have finished the loop. And you can do this, and you see the little eye forming in the center, which is a little test to see that you have done the A weave right. I call it the A weave, but right now we just call it a weave. Now in order to weave again, you will wish to take the thumb loop and put it back on the top of the index. You can do that by simply coming under. Notice that you want to come under. If you were to come and lift it off coming in from the top, you would lose where the straight across or the transverse string is, and it would not be in a proper position. So you want to always come under and lift off so that your transverse strings are your near index strings. So now you're ready, back in the loom position, to weave the same string. The near little finger string by pulling under it, the top index string, and I often weave in a very strange fashion, coming over with my middle finger until I can hook, sliding my thumbs toward the center. And the second time, you do not finish the weave. You reach over with your middle finger, down in, I call it going into the well, down in and picking up the near lower index string and pinning it to the top of your index, dropping your little finger, and you'll notice that I do not allow this to become loose. I hold that string. I pull my hands so that my thumb and my fingers are stretched as tight as I can, and I roll my hand, my thumb pointing down, And there is the Tin Man figure. And like I said, there are 10 X's. 1, 2, 3 in the top row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3 in the bottom row. 3, 4, and 3 is 10 men.